Hello everyone, in this lecture I will be discussing about the different number systems available and their classifications, then conversion from one system to another. Basically, a number system means a set of values which are used to represent a quantity that may be physical or something else. Okay. And these are classified into binary, octal, decimal, duodecimal, hexadecimal, etc. based on their radix or a base. Okay, so the classification is based on this thing, base or radix, which is represented by R. And in the case of binary, we are having the radix or base as 2. For the octal, we are having it as 8, decimal 10, duodecimal 12, and hexadecimal 16. The basic number system that we are following is decimal, which has a radix of 10. That means it has a range of 0 to r minus 1. Here the r is 10, so it will have a range from 0 to 9. That is the basic number system we are using. In the case of binary, we are having the radix as 2, so it can have maximum of 2 numbers to represent. And here, as we are starting from 0, the next one is r minus 1, so 0 to 1. In the case of octal, we can go from 0 to 7, decimal, as you already know, from 0 to 9. And in the case of duodecimal, it has radix as 12, so it can start from 0, go up to 9, then 10 is represented by A and 11 is represented by B. And in the case of a hexadecimal number system, we are having the radix or base as 16, so starting from 0 to 9, then 10 is represented by A, 11 by B, 12 by C, 13 by D, 14 by E, and 15 by F. So the maximum value is 15 and it is represented by F. So only in the case of duodecimal and hexadecimal, we are having alphabets to represent numbers above 10. Then generally we will be following these number systems: binary, octal, decimal, and and hexadecimal. Okay. Now another method to classify is based on the weight associated with each bit or significant digit. So we are having two systems, weighted system and unweighted system. Weighted system means each position will have some position weight associated with that particular position. So the examples for such systems are the decimal, binary, octal, everything is on based on some position value, so it is known as a weighted system. And unweighted means we are not having a specific weight for a particular position. Okay, examples of that, those are gray code, XS3 code, etc. And one point that you can notice that when the base increases, then the number of digits required to represent a quantity decreases. That is, if you go from a binary to a decimal, the base changes from 2 to 10, and so the number of number of digits used will reduce. An example is given below. Here I am taking 7392 in decimal as the value, and if I am representing it using a binary, then it will have this much number of digits in it. And if it is represented by an octal number, that is base is 8, which is less than this decimal but higher than binary, then it will have 1 2 3 4 5 digits, which is greater than decimal but less than binary. And if I am representing it in hexadecimal, I will only require 4 digits. Now we will move on to the different types of conversions. First we will discuss about conversion from decimal to other forms like binary, octal, or hexadecimal. Here I will be discussing only about decimal to binary conversion, but the same is applicable for octal and hexadecimal. The only difference is that in binary we are having 2 as a radix, and in octal 8, and in hexadecimal the base is 16. Okay, so the method used is double dabble, and in method, if you are having an integer part and a fractional part for the number to be converted, that is a decimal number, then you will have to follow two different steps for the fractional part and for the integer part. First we will discuss about the integer part. In the case of the integer part, divide the integer part progressively by 2 until the quotient of 0 is obtained. That is, continue dividing the given integer part by 2 in the case of binary conversion, and if you are converting it into octal, divide by continuously by 8, and for hexadecimal, divide continuously by 16 until you get a 0 as the quotient. The binary or number is obtained by arranging the remainders after each division in the reverse order, that is from bottom to top. That is the procedure for converting the integer part. So just divide by 2 continuously until you reach a 0 quotient, then arrange the remainders in the reverse order. And for the fractional part, multiply by 2 continuously by 2, recording a carry in the integer position each time. The carries in the forward order, that is from top to bottom, will give you the equivalent binary number. In the case of octal, you are multiplying by 8, and for hexadecimal you will be multiplying by 16. This will be explained in detail by the help of an exam. Okay. So convert the decimal number 53.625 into its equivalent binary number. Here we are having 53 as the integer part and 0.625 as the fractional part. So for 53 we will be dividing continuously by 2 because we are converting it into binary, and 0.0625 we will be multiplying by 2 because we are converting it into binary. So first we will move on to the integer part. So if I divide it continuously by 2, I will be getting something like this. 53 divided by 2 gives 26 with 1 as remainder. Then if I am dividing 26 by 2, I will get 13 with 0 as remainder. Then again 13 by 2 gives 6 with 1 remainder. 6 by 2 gives 3 with 0 remainder. Then again 3 by 2 gives 1 with 1 as remainder. Then finally 1 divided by 2 gives 0, but we will have a remainder of 1. Okay, so these are the remainders at each stage. Now I will be arranging them from bottom to top. That is, I will be writing it from here to here. So I will get it as 1 1 0 1 0 1. It is given here 1 1 0 1 0 1. So this is the integer part 53 converted into binary. Now I will move on to the fractional part. So in the case of fractional part, instead of dividing, I will be multiplying by 2. So starting with 0.625 multiplying by 2, it will give 1.25. So I will keep this integer part here, then I will take the fractional part 0.25 over here and again multiply by 2, so I will get it as 0.50. I will keep this integer part 0 here, then again 0.50 multiply by 2, it will give 1.00. I will keep the 1 here, then again I am having 0.00 multiplied by 2 will give 0, then again in all the other steps it will give only 0. So I will be recording 0 0 0 here. Okay, now I will arrange it from top to bottom, that is 1 0 1 0. So this gives 0.625 as 0.1010. Now we will be having zeros. Okay, so this is decimal binary equivalent of the decimal number 0.625. Now I will be combining this, so the final answer will be 110101.1010 in binary. So the integer part we are dividing by 2 continuously, recording the carry at each stage, and Once you reach the 0 as quotient, arrange the remainders from bottom to top. And for the fractional part, we will be multiplying continuously by 2, recording the integer part at each stage, then taking the fractional part, multiplying by 2, recording the integer, and continuing, and arranging the recorded integers from top to bottom. We'll give the fractional part and just combine to give the final answer. Now the conversion from binary, octal or hexadecimal to decimal. Here the method used is position weight method. So in this method we will be multiplying each position with the corresponding position weight, and then we will be summing up all the values to get the equivalent decimal number. In the case of a binary number, position will be in the powers of 2, and in the case of octal number, position weight will be in the powers of 8 and hexadecimal 16, because the base or radix is 2 for binary, 8 for octal and 16 for hexadecimal. So just the method is done by multiplying each significant digit of the binary or octal or hexadecimal number by its respective weight and adding the product. Here I will be discussing only 2 examples for hexadecimal to binary decimal conversion, and the other cases will be similar. You can do that. Considering the first case, A3BH. Okay, so A3BH, it is in hexadecimal. I am converting it into decimal. So here this is a least significant bit, and this one is the most significant. So from the least significant bit, you will be having the power as power of the base as 0, then next level 1, next level 2, etc. It will go. And if I was having a fractional part here, starting from the first point, we will have power as 16 raised to 0, 16 raised to minus 1, 16 raised to minus 2, etc. So in this case, I'll have to multiply b with 16 raised to 0, 3 with 16 raised to 1, and a with 16 raised to 2, and add them all. So that is shown here: a into 16 position weight 16 raised to 2 plus 3 into position weight 16 raised to 1 plus b into position weight of 16 raised to 0. Now once you add them all, multiply and add them all, you will get it as 2619 in decimal. And in the second example, I am having 2f3h. I have 2f h means hexadecimal, so it is represented as base 16. Now multiplying the position with the position weight 16 raised to 0, 16 raised to 1, 16 raised to 2, you will get it as 755 in decimal. Okay.